Hi everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at the marijuana sector. Okay, this video we're going to look at the non-Canadian marijuana stock. I guess maybe Cronus is Canadian though. I was trying to do some non-Canadian stocks, but yeah. Anyways, the bottom line is these are all marijuana sector stocks. Okay, and the first up we're going to look at GWPH. Okay, so this is GW Pharmaceuticals. They're out of the United Kingdom. They're the top pharmaceutical marijuana cannabis related company. They did close up 2% on Friday or Thursday, and so the big development on Thursday was the confirmation of the bullish homing pigeon reversal pattern. So that pattern was confirmed by the white candle on Thursday. Now it closed right at the EMA 4 at 112.67. It's going to need to close above that level to get the reversal going. The next key level to break above is going to be EMA 8 at 114.27. Just above that is the 200 and 300 day simple moving averages and the middle Bollinger Band. Once it's above 1645, that's when it can get a new uptrend going. As you can see here, it had been working on trying to turn the middle Bollinger Band into support, and it keeps failing. Right now it's trying to hold this key support level at 110. You can see there was a bottom, it came up, now it's retesting that support level. If it does break, you have the 108 as the big support, and then you could see it pull all the way back and test that 102. So it's going to be really important that it holds that 108 to 110 support zone and break that EMA 4 resistance. If you look at the 15-minute chart, you can see the chart really heated up over the last 2 trading days. It got above the middle Bollinger Band on Wednesday. That's the dotted purple line. It's also the 20 simple moving average. It pulled back below that on Thursday, but then it got back above and above that 50 simple moving average, the green line, and it closed the day above the gold line. That's the 100 simple moving average. As long as that basically 112 support level holds, the uptrend should continue. If it drops below 112, it could consolidate. Now it needs to break above 113. That would be the big resistance level. If you get above that, it might run up to 115, and that 200 simple moving average and the high close from the 26 will be the key levels to break. It has a good uptrend going right now. It just needs to hold support. Now take a look at Cronus Group. Okay, this is ticker symbol CRON. You know, it does trade now on the NASDAQ, and it closed up 3%. And so yeah, this is the Canadian company. You know, they have the big pullback here. Okay, so it came all the way down to the 100-day simple moving average at 638, and that level is holding. Okay, so as long as that holds, this should be a technical bounce level. Now if this level fails to hold and it drops below that 630 support zone, that's going to be a major red flag. You know, that you have the 200-day simple moving average is way down at 414. So this is the level that it needs to bounce off. It bounced off of that zone on the February pullback. This pulled back similar to the, you know, so the bottom line is not only has the stock market and Bitcoin, you know, and cryptocurrency been under pressure, but the marijuana sector has been under pressure as well. And so what needs to happen is it needs to close above EMA 4 at 691. Notice the pink line has been resistance. Once it closes above that level, that's going to be a signal that, okay, yeah, the reversal's happening, and you know, it's trying to reverse, and then would have to stay above that level, and then it needs to get above EMA 8 at 728. Now on Thursday, bullish Haremy reversal pattern did form, and so you can see the white candle inside the previous red candle, and so we'll be looking for bullish reversal confirmation, a close above EMA 4, and for the 100-day simple moving average to hold. Okay, and like I said, it'll be a downside risk if that level breaks, if the support level breaks. On the 15-minute chart here for CRON, it did close above the green line, the 50 simple moving average at 665, and it closed above the middle Bollinger Band, currently at 671. So as long as it's staying above 670, okay, and stays above this middle, you know, it's above that 50 simple moving average and middle Bollinger Band, it is in play for the bounce. Now, if it dropped below, that would signal more consolidation. It needs to stay above that level, and then it needs to get above the high close resistance level around 680, 685. That was the high close here on Thursday, and then it should work its way up to the 100 simple moving average if it breaks above the 680 resistance zone, and the $7 100 simple moving average level will be on deck. Okay, so that'll be a big level to break, and notice it's lining up with the candles over here. Okay, so yeah, so keep an eye on CRON. We'll see if it can follow through and confirm the reversal pattern. Take a look at Xxii. Okay, so this is another marijuana stock. It closed up 6%. It's trying to heat up. It's pulled back. It had the the big pullback. It broke below the 200-day simple moving average. That's the red line at 248. And notice it's also below the middle Bollinger Band, the dotted purple line at 252. And so it came down and it hit the 300-day simple moving average at 205. Okay, so that's the big support level to hold. That's the blue line. And it did close back above EMA4 at 232. So that was a good close back above that level. It's been trying to get above and it's been failing. Now if it can close above EMA8 at 237, that would signal that it's continuing to reverse. Okay, that's what needs to happen. And then it needs to get above this 250 resistance zone. All right, so on we have a bullish morning star reversal pattern has formed. And so this is a pretty good reversal pattern. We'll see if it can follow through. You know, it had the that is not here it goes right here. Yeah, you can see it had the red candle, and then notice the gap. It had the gap down, and then now we have the white candle. And so yeah, so it just needs another white candle to confirm and then get through that 250 resistance zone. So keep an eye on it for bullish reversal confirmation. If it closes back below EMA4 at 232, it will be a risk to hold. Anything that closes below EMA4 on the daily chart is a risk to hold long. Okay, that's when you want to be short, is when candles are forming below EMA4 resistance. Okay, so for check out Kush Bottles. All right, so they make the containers that different marijuana products go into, and so they're the leader of the industry. And so if you're looking for something that is not has nothing to do with marijuana, they only make bottles. This is a safe way to go right here with Kush Bottles, as far as if you're trying not to get exposure to the actual cannabis itself. And so yeah, they're just selling little different types of bottles. You could check out their website, Kush Bottles. And so anyways, they are back at the middle Bollinger Band here, and so it needs to get above the middle Bollinger Band, currently at where's this at, 505. So basically, if it can break this 5 resistance zone, it closed at 5 right now, but it's in a channel. You can see it's in the sideways channel. It's channeling out, and so it's bounced off the bottom of the channel. That's off this 100-day simple moving average support zone. It's the same kind of bounce. Notice how it's making higher lows. That's what you want to see on a pullback. And so we've got this ascending support happening. So it did pull back from the highs. It made a low. It came up, and then it made a higher low. So that's good. You don't want to make a lower low. That signals more downside risk, and then that would put the 200-day simple moving average on deck. By making the higher low, that's signaling that it could possibly make a higher high on the next push, right? So you have a low, and then the high, and then the lower high, and so this next high could be higher. If it keeps pushing in an uptrend. Okay, if it can get an uptrend going. Okay, it's in a sideways channel currently. To make a long story short, if you can get above the middle Bollinger Band at 505, the big level to break is going to be the top of the channel, which is the closing price on March 12th, and then the 50-day simple moving average, which is the green line there. Notice it's also lined up with the upper Bollinger Band at 560. If you see a close above these 3 resistance levels, that's going to be a big signal that it wants to finally head higher. If it doesn't, if it comes up and it hits this 50-day simple moving average and stalls out like it does right here, then that's the profit taking zone. It's the top of the channel. It could hit the top of the channel and come back down. You sell at the top of the channel. For sideways channels, if you're trying to trade them long, you're always trying to load off the bottom and then sell off the top, and then you wait for it to hit the bottom again, then you reload, and then when it hits the top, you sell unless it breaks out higher. And so you just have to sideways channels. You can make money in a sideways channel if you get the right entry point, but a lot of people end up just riding, and their money turns into dead money. So you want to see a break above resistance. A break above this 50-day simple moving average should be a signal that it finally wants to head higher. So keep an eye on Kush Bottles. It did form bullish engulfing reversal pattern, and so actually the reversal pattern was confirmed. So on the 27th, bullish engulfing formed. You could see the small red candle and then a larger white candle, and then the candle on Thursday actually confirmed that reversal pattern. So we have a bullish reversal confirmation. It was on very light volume. It's much better when you have a large volume to push through resistance. But keep an eye on it. You know, a lot of times these types of trades start off with light volume. We'll see. You know, as you can see back here in January, Kush Bottles had very large volume, and so it could come back, and that's what we're looking for. At some point, the marijuana sector is going to heat up again, and so we're just monitoring the situation here. There is the coming up. There is a catalyst with the Canada supposedly legalizing federally marijuana in July, and so the closer we get to that date, there should be a there should be a run, you would think, leading up to that. But we'll see what's happening. Okay, right now is another one to keep an eye on. Excuse me, is GTBP. Okay, this stock closed up 12%. And it's heating up. It had a nice close above the middle Bollinger Band. Okay, so this is another marijuana sector stock. It closed above the middle Bollinger Band back here. Okay, a couple weeks ago, and it failed to hold that level and pulled back. And then on Thursday, it finally closed back above. Many times when you have a close above and then it pulls back and then closes above again, that's the signal that it's finally ready to head higher. We'll see if that's the case here. It is on a 3-day run already, so it has the channel action going as well. It's going to need to break above that closing price here on the day that it got above the middle Bollinger Band, and you know it's going to have a little work to do here. But if it can hold this middle Bollinger Band and stay above 180 and break above this $2 resistance zone, then the next target would be the 50-day simple moving average at 225. So keep an eye on it. We'll see if it'll heat up. Notice that how it did have a volume spike. This is a thinly traded stock, okay, so very, very light volume stock. But notice it was the largest volume day since back here in January 29th. And so many times that's a clue that it's heating up as well. There was a PSAR bull flip. Yeah, keep an eye on it. And the a bull cross in the 8, 13, and 5 MACD. Okay, take a look at CVSI. Another marijuana sector stock closed up 11%. All right, so it had this bullish move on Friday where it broke above resistance here. So this was in, I would call this a sideways channel as well. You could say the channel was between this red horizontal line and this green support line, resistance and support, and it got above the channel and below the channel, and then it hit the top of the channel again and came down and tested the bottom. And then right now it's busting out of the top. It's hitting this high from back here in January, this 50-cent close back here. And so if it can break this closing price on the 25th of January, that's going to be the big signal that it wants to head higher. So keep an eye on CVSI on Monday. Above 50 would be really bullish. If it could get above 50, as you can see back here in December, it was really pushing up into the 60s. And so, it was like kind of a parabolic move on big volume. And so, there wasn't a lot of sideways trading. So it doesn't seem like there's a heavy resistance getting past this 50 level, so you could see a push back up to test this high, right? And so a run up to that 63, 64 level could follow if it breaks above 50, so keep an eye on it. Okay, let's look at CNBX, okay? So this is another one, this is Cannabis Pharmaceuticals. Yeah, check this out. They closed up 9%, another light volume play, but it's trying to heat up. It came down, it's trying to do that double bottom bounce thing where it made a bottom in February, it came back, and now it's testing that support level. And so many times this is that classic setup for a technical bounce off this level. Volume was very, very light. Okay, so as you can see back here in January and into December, there was huge volume before the pullback. And so what you want to see now is a volume spike, some volume to come into the trade, and then have it close above this 200-day simple moving average first at 115. That's the red line. And then if they can get back above the middle Bollinger Band at 120, it could get moving again. All the moving averages are all converged here, okay, basically between EMA 4 at 108, and then up here at the top you have the 300-day simple moving average at 143. Once above 143, then it would be trading above all the moving averages. So this has potential to get moving if it can break through resistance. Right now it's in this channel right now, and it did come. So what you're looking for. So the interesting thing is it closed back above EMA4, the pink line. You can see it was resistance. It closed above it on the 26th, and now it's back above again. And on the last time it ran, if you could look over here, it closed above EMA4. Okay, so it was all red candles below. It got above and it failed to stay above. And then it kept going down, and then finally down here at the bottom it got above and it stayed above, and that signaled the run was starting. And so that's what you're looking for here. It has to stay above EMA4. If it looks like it's going to close below, it will be a risk to hold. Okay, let's look at CBIS. This is another one. They had some good, actually. I was kind of impressed with their last earnings that I saw. It actually seemed like they were really making money, which is like, wow, can't believe it. So like a lot of these companies that were just kind of seem like BS forever, or actually have some legitimate businesses going on. But that doesn't mean that they still don't sell shares, and there's lots of dilution, and the share price can still be in the gutter. And so, yeah, for some reason, yeah, this can never get really a good sustained run going. But every once in a while it does break out and run. So keep an eye on it. It's hitting that same kind of double bottom, multiple bottom. You can see it made a bottom over here in February low. It's hit that level, that same zone in March, and now it's at that same zone again. And so it's trying to hold this key support zone. It has to stay above 6 cents. If it dropped below 6 cents, it would be a very big risk to hold. You would see a drop down to 200-day simple moving average at 572. It's right now it's in the sideways channel. This is the bottom of the channel. So if it is going to bounce, and do what it's done the last 2 times that it came down to this level and run back up, it would run back up possibly to the top of the channel, to the 50-day simple moving average up here around 7.6, 7.7. You can see the high close here on the 7th of March. This white candle is the key level to break. It's lined up with the 50-day simple moving average. You could possibly see a move up to that level if it closed above the pink line and the 300-day simple moving average. That's the blue line, basically 662. So just keep an eye on it. It's trying to bounce. We'll see if something can happen. This is the bottom of the channel. Okay, and so if support holds, the bottom of the channel is the low level. But just keep in mind, sideways channels are not very good. It's better to wait for the breakout. Yeah, they're better plays, better setups. But people like the marijuana stocks, so I'm posting the video because I want to try to help everybody, and I want to see the sector heat up as well. And so let's look at MYHI here. Okay, so yeah, it's heating up as well. So check it out. So this is an interesting setup. It broke below the middle Bollinger Band, which is the dotted purple line here, which is the 20-day simple moving average. That level broke back here. I guess it finally was convinced broke or confirmed broke on the 17th of January, and then because it closed above that level on the 16th of January, and then that was the last close above the 16th of January, above the middle Bollinger Band. None of these candles here closed above the dotted purple line. They hit it, but they didn't close above until last week on the 26th, right? There was finally a close above. Many times that signals, okay, the reversal, it's trying to, it's definitely a bullish change in trend. It finally closed back above the 20-day simple moving average. The candles are above the EMAs 4, 8, and 13. And as you can see here, it closed 4 days in a row above the middle Bollinger Band at 7 cents. So as long as 7's holding, MYHI possibly is trying to get a new uptrend going. It does. And so if it can get above 8, you're looking at a break above here. This is the 50, the 100 and 200-day simple moving averages, all converged at 9 cents. And so if it broke above that 9 cent level, then you could really see it run up to that 300-day simple moving average at 15. So keep an eye on it. This could could get moving if it can hold on to 7. If it drops below 7, it'll be a risk to hold. Okay, take a look at HEMP. HEMP's another name that's been around for a long time. They have so they have they have a bunch of money that they've invested. Maybe it'll end up paying off for them. Their South Carolina hemp factory or whatever they've got going there, and so bottom line is the chart is heating up again, as you can see here. They've got this sideways channel as well. I really don't like sideways channels, and until there's a breakout above, and then I like them. I like the break above a channel. That's the signal that okay, yeah, this is really That's when we're always looking for the moment where there's the change in trend, and then that's where you can get in, and usually the best moves happen, and then you want to be there when the action happens, and we're always looking for the start of the change in trend. And so this is getting interesting. There was the top of the channel was over here on February, this high close, okay, and so it closed above that level on the 27th. And then now it's trying to turn that level into support. Notice how it's above the middle Bollinger Band. It's above the 50-day simple moving average, the 100-day simple moving average, EMA's 4, 8, and 13. So it's really cooking right now. It's also above every moving average except for the 300-day simple moving average at 0.026. So if you see it close above 2.6, that'll be a signal that it's above all the moving averages. And as you can see over here in December, when it closed above, it ran way up here. You know, it was basically a double after it closed above. So that's the upside potential, you know, is that it could run back up into the 4s if it closed above that 300-day simple moving average, that level turned into support. Basically, to make a long story short, this is the best that hemp has looked since it broke below the middle Bollinger Band back here and on the 17th of January. It dropped below that level, and that level turned into resistance. And you know, it tried to get that you know, it's been working on getting that middle Bollinger Band turned into support in March here. But really, this is the best that it's looked with this break above resistance. And so if it can stay above the moving averages and break above resistance, it could possibly head higher. If you look here at the hemp weekly chart, you can see here that it's closed on the. This is each candle on this chart represents 1 week of trading, and you can see it closed above the middle Bollinger Band at 23 and above the 50-day simple moving average at 228. So that's the green line there. If it can stay above both those levels, that would be very bullish. Look at the volume spike. This is an old chart, so sorry about that. These annotations are really old. That was from when this happened here. And it failed to stay above the middle Bollinger Band and pulled back. But this is back above. All these weeks right here, it's below the middle Bollinger Band. So this is the first time that it's back above since back here in January. And so this is signaling a possibly heating up. Look at the volume spike down here. That was really good volume, the best volume since January. So keep an eye on hemp. Another one to keep an eye on is SIPC. It is already in an uptrend on the daily chart. You can see it's trading above the moving averages here. All the moving averages on the chart except for EMA 4. If it can get back above EMA 4 at 0.0405, that would signal that it's really cooking again. As long as it stays above the middle Bollinger Band down here, the 20-day simple moving average, the 50-day simple moving average, and the 100-day simple moving average, all down here above 3.3, that's signaling that the uptrend's intact and it wants to head higher. It just needs to break above this next high close horizontal resistance level, which is right here at about 475 or so, just below this closing price on the 26. If it could break above that, then you're looking at a run up here into the 6s, and then the high is up here at 8. So this is a really nice move here with some good volume spikes. So keep an eye on SIPC this week. And another one, I know a lot of people in the chat did really well with POTN on that last, the epic run that it had over here, and it just kept going forever. And so I'm going to give you guys an update on this. As you can see here, it got below the middle Bollinger Band, and it's turned into resistance. You can see over here, it's below the middle Bollinger Band, turned into resistance. And so it needs to get back above that level to get a reversal going. If it can get above this 37 level, that would signal that it's heating back up. Right now, it has 4 red candles in a row on very light volume. They're walking it down. So I would keep an eye out for a bullish volume spike. If looking to play the bounce, I would maybe try to bottom feed off of this 100-day simple moving average for technical bounce. I think if it hit that 29 level, that it should get a technical bounce after multiple red candles in a row. Just keep in mind if it's still keeps forming candles below EMA's 4 and 8 on the daily chart, it will be a risk to hold. It needs to close above the middle Bollinger Band to really heat up and then hold that level. It could keep going for an extended period of time below the middle Bollinger Band, in a strong downtrend. Right now it's in the sideways channel. It's breaking down below the bottom of the channel, and so it needs to get back above EMA 4 at 345 or else it will be continue to be a risk to hold. Keep an eye on 29. That might be the technical bounce level. If you look at the 15-minute chart, what it needs to do is get above the green line here. It closed Friday above the middle Bollinger Band. Basically, it has to hold 33 and then break above 334. That's the 50 simple moving average. If it closes above that level, and it was trying to do that into the close, if it can close above and then turn into support, it could run up here to 3.5 and test that 100. And then once it finally gets above the 200 and 300 simple moving averages on the 15-minute chart, that will be the signal that it's finally really reversing. You know, you could get a run between 3.3 and 3.6, but if it hit that level similar to back here and failed to break, then it would signal more downside risk. Okay, thank you very much for viewing this video. If you'd like to learn more about charts and technical analysis, please come check out our chat. I'll post the link below the YouTube video. Thank you.